What's going on, team? Proof here, and today I'm coming at you with the Bushiroad stream that just took place not too long ago. I had some time on my hands, so I figured I would put together the highlights for the stream and present it to you guys. I won't always be able to get it to you like an hour after the stream drops, but if you like something like this where I consolidate the Bushiroad stream for like the news and then the card reveals that come up, let me know, because then I can always do it later in the day of the stream if you guys want to get more information that way. So just let me know. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So the way I do it, I start off with the news and then I go into card reveals after that. So if you don't care about the news, follow the timestamp down below that I'm going to put in and just click straight to when I start talking about the cards. So for the news, first thing they talked about is that the Shinemon anime is going to continue on into 2020, and it's going to be a 4-year time skip. So everybody's going to get 4 years older. Some kind of grow bigger, except for in the case of Nanami, which you're going to see, she doesn't really grow. But I mean, Shinemon went on to like, it's kind of a college arc to where things take place during their college years. As you can see, Tatsuya is a doctor now, or in a doctor program. Mark is still doing Mark things. Rive is still being pretty much Rive, but he looking kind of clean in his shirt and tie, or not tie, but his button-down shirt though. Boy, looking kind of clean. But this kind of confirms, or basically does confirm, that there's going to be more support for their respective clans. So look out for more of that in the future. And as you can see, Eska kind of just put on, she was looking about the same, but just put on her red skirt. But as you can see, we got Ryuzu, and then we got little Chrono here. So you know that there's going to be Gear Chronicle support coming up. And then if there's Ryuzu coming up, you know there's likely going to be Chrono Tiger support, which kind of leads into one of the future slides that I got to have. And then it kind of talks about that in the arc, there's going to be a clan that Shin hasn't seen before, which likely indicates Gear Chronicle. I would expect it to be Gear Chronicle, unless Bushiroad tries to throw us a curveball somewhere down the way. And then, as I kind of alluded to, they did announce that there's going to be an extra boost of 13 called Astral Force, which is going to feature Genesis, Angels, and Gear Chronicle. And as you can see from the box art, or the expected box art, is going to be bigger Uranus and then a new unit for Tatsuya. And they did kind of give us some of the cards here. They did give us the names for a few of the cards. So we have Creation God of Light Uranus. The two names for Uranus and then the Angel Feather card is kind of tentative, depending on what comes out or how it's going to be translated. But a card that people may, or definitely know, but they may like it, is Chrono Tiger Rebellion, which is Ryuzu's ace card back from the Stride era. So he comes back, he's probably going to have a force gift. And since this is Rebellion, which is the evolved form of Chrono Tiger, or Chrono Fang, that likely indicates that Chrono Fang himself is going to come back as maybe a double rare, triple rare. I would expect it to be triple rare, but you can reasonably expect that Chrono Fang is going to come back as well. So look out for those. Divine Machine of Special Armaments, Maluk Malek. Malkuth Malek, something like that. Tough to say, but it's going to be Tatsuya's new ace card, I would expect. And it looks like he looks kind of dragon-esque, kind of robot-esque, I guess, but he doesn't have dragon in his name, so I don't expect him to be a dragon. He might be like an evolved form of a mobile hospital. So I'm excited to see what it does, because Angels being able to manipulate damage might be a course that they continue to go with. So I'm looking forward to that. And they also announced the release date for Japan for Vanguard 0. So it comes out December 5th. I would expect it to be on all mobile platforms, considering that they did the beta testing for Android and iPhones. So expect that to be coming our way probably January, February time range for America, and then, or outside of Japan basically. So I look forward to that. I expect it to be the same as it was for the beta. I didn't play the beta, but I'm familiar with what went down in the beta in terms of gameplay, so I would expect it to be the same. And that covers all the news kind of quickly, but I think you guys kind of got the gist of it. So now I'm going into the card reveals, and since it's Bermuda season, aka fish season, the bulk of the reveals came for Bermuda cards, so we're going to start with that. So we have a card called From Colorful Pastorale Sonata, and her skill says melody on Vanguard or Rearguard. During the battle that it attacked the Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5,000 power, and then of course it's shared with all your other units with Melody. So since her name is from Colorful Pastorale and not Colorful Pastorale, that means it goes around the current restriction where you can't play Colorful Pastorale Sonata with Lizelette. So you can play her with Lizelette together in the same deck, which means that it opens your deck up for better early aggression if you choose to not play grade 3 Sonata, which if the bulk of the deck is going to be more Melody based in the grade 2s and grade 1 lineups, I would expect to see grade 3 Sonata get out of the deck, because if you pay her cost, you're likely going to find a grade 1 or grade 2 Melody, as opposed to finding the Karos or extra grade 3 Sonatas you would used to find for your top checks to get more power across the board. So herself from Colorful Pastorale Sonata, she opens up your ability to be more aggressive early with Lizelette, and because it shares the power across the board for your other attacking units, it likely helps you play or hit over defensive triggers from your opponent. So it kind of helps you steamroll a little bit quicker, and it kind of helps you set up the game for the future depending on how your grade 3 lineups shake up, or grade 4s, which I'll get to in a second. And next up we have Silver Singer Cutire, and then auto on Vanguard or Rearguard. When placed, you may declare a card name other than this card. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal the declared card or a normal unit with the same name as a card revealed by this effect. Put the declared unit from the normal unit from among them into your hand and shuffle your deck. So if you declare, say, Lizelette, you reveal cards on top of your deck until you see Lizelette, or if you see 2 normal units with the same name together, say you find 2 of the from Colorful Pastorale Sonata I just talked about, then you stop the effect there, and if you find Lizelette, you add it to your hand. If you see a duplicate before you see Lizelette, you don't add anything into your hand. So you must add the declared card to your hand, or you must see the declared card to get the effect off and get the card added to your hand. So this is kind of like Shadow Highlander support. it's kind of saying it's Highlander support without with a chance to be useful outside of Highlander itself. So this is very helpful for you to get, maybe if you know what the contents of your deck is, you can get a particular card to help you in a particular situation, or you can get a grade 4 in your deck, your preferred grade 4 ride for the current situation, to be able to shape the game up the rest of the way for you. So very, very good card especially if you're playing Highlander, but it can have some applications outside of Highlander if you choose to build your deck that way around it. Next up we have Crystal Popstar E, which is the first grade 4 card that they revealed for the set. Her skill is act on Vanguard, cost, look at the top card of your deck, and then you may call the top card of your deck to an open rearguard circle. And then when this unit's power or critical will be increased by your trigger effect, double the value of that increase. So this card, it could be a key card you want to find with Cutire that I just talked about not too long ago, because there's a lot going on with this card that's kind of not in your face about it. But the first thing you might notice is that the act skill for her first skill is not once per turn. So you can look at the top card of your deck, call it to an open rearguard circle, look at the top card of your deck again, call it again to your rearguard circle, and then if you look at it and then see it's a trigger, you may not want to call it, so then you put it back on top of your deck. And then from there, that kind of combos with her second skill, her continuous effect, because if you put a critical on top, that critical now becomes crit 2 as opposed to 1 additional critical, and then it becomes a 20k power increase as opposed to a 10,000 power increase. So you can fill up your board with whatever you want as long as it's an open rearguard circle. So it is limited, but you can fill it with whatever you want to fill out your board. And then from there, your trigger effects for your criticals become buffed in and of itself. So you can manipulate the top card of your deck and then beat your opponent over the head with it. So it's a really strong card in and of itself for that application. But then since her since her effect is continuous, her second skill, that means it also works on defensively as well. So if you check a trigger off the top of your deck when your opponent attacks, that power increase becomes plus 20k. So now she becomes a 34k base Vanguard for the duration of the turn, which makes it nearly impossible for decks to hit over 34k by themselves. So really strong, like, balanced offense and defensive card, which is something that Bushiroad wanted to try to accomplish with Force decks from the outset. They kind of talked about how they help balance offense and defense, and this card here is one of the better examples I've seen recently that kind of does that. Like, of course, my bull spike does that as well with the retired draw while passing power around, but this is one of the good applications of it as well, because I think this is one of the few cards that I can remember in, like, there's Shiryuki that can manipulate your opponent's power, which kind of gives you pseudo 10k to your Vanguard. But this is one of the only examples I've seen in Force that helps manipulate the power of your defensive power as well. So this is really good to have for as you're sitting on your Vanguard base, and then you might want to go into, the name escapes me, but the Restanding Highlander unit or any other Highlander unit. And this doesn't have the Highlander restriction either, so you can play multiples of her in your grade 4 lineup to help reliably see her. So a lot of things going on here with so you might play this in a Highlander base, but then you play ride Cutire, and then you use Cutire's effect to get Eve, and you can just maybe play multiples of Eve, so then you can apply multiple forces across the board, so might be able to set your deck up that way. But it's a really strong card both on the offensive end and on the defensive end, so I'm excited to see what comes of it in the future. And then the last card that they revealed came from the new set. It's kind of a preview card from the new set, but it's Dikei of the Just Path, which is a Genesis card. So auto on Vanguard or Rearguard, when placed, put a card from your hand to the soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck and add the 2 Astral Poets to your hand and shuffle. And then if you added 2 to your hand, you put a imaginary gift Force on your Vanguard. So it looks scary, but the way the deck kind of shapes up, you don't play a ton of Astral Poets unless they add more Astral Poets to, say, your grade 1 or grade 2 lineups, which might happen because as of right now they're only grade 3s. So as they get more support, there's a chance that they might incorporate more Astral Poets into your other grades. So this might, as of right now, it doesn't have potential to fire it off to get the 2 Astral Poets to your hand, but it does remain to be seen if they increase that chance going into the future. And that opens up the ability to get an imaginary gift Force on your grade 1 ride, and then on your grade 2 ride through the promo Mitsuki. And then as you get to grade 3, is either if it's current Uranus or future buffed Uranus or Heavenly Dragon that's out right now, you can more reliably get turn 3 Valkyrian going on your astral plane, which, since the name of this set is called Astral Force, they might be building around the ability to get more reliable Valkyrians or any other deities. I forget their official name, but any other deities to be on your astral plane as well. They might add maybe 1 or 2 other grade 5s to that to the current lineup there. So that'll do it for all the cards and all the news here. Hope everybody enjoyed. Let me know if you like this presentation here, and because I do like putting these things together and give people some non-spike content. And huge shout out to my Discord, more specifically Format for getting the images from the stream, and then the Sapphire for translating everything. And so huge shout out to them for help putting the information onto the Discord for me to grab the information to share it with everybody. So I just want to make sure they get the recognition that they deserve, and I hope everybody enjoyed this. And yeah, that'll do it for me, and until the next one, peace, be easy.